They'll come out in the pistol.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Quick hitter here. It's complete. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. So 2nd and medium, 2nd and 5 now. They'll set up a throw. Now they go screen. It's complete. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. So the offense has it 1st and 10. And they're going to go soft on the corners. He'll look to throw. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward.
Here we go now.
They'll throw now on the final play. Finding time. He's going to loft one deep. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And he will be brought down as time is now run out on this first half of action.
Oh, nice pick, nice pick.
And with that, we'll wrap up our halftime report and head back out now to Lambeau Field for the start of the 2nd half.
Okay, Larry, a fairly one-sided first half as we get set to go in the 2nd half. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Drop you into the start of this next possession. The score, 7-0. They'll come out in the pistol. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he'll work his way across the 30 to the 32. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
Here we go now.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Fighting him off.
Just ran right through the trash.
And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he's going to bull his way forward to the 48. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards. And it's 2nd and 2. And he is having a nice bounce-back game. I know in the meetings this week I kind of did the faux pas of asking, did he tweak something? Because he just wasn't sharp last week. They said no, he was fine, and he's showing that here in this one.
Dan, I was really glad that was you who asked that question.
I knew you would.
No, I was like, hey, that's my man right there. Take one for the team. But I thought it was a legitimate question because the way he played last week, you wondered if maybe there was an injury that they hadn't discussed or talked about. They assured us no, and what we're seeing so far, it is no. He's quicker to the hole, faster than other people, and he's finishing runs in a big way, dropping his shoulder at the end of them.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
Whenever I see a drop like that, I have to kind of take a step back and check myself a little bit. So used to seeing those big guys make big-time spectacular plays that when they drop one, I have to remind myself, we ask a lot out of these guys. Block and catch the football, not easily done in today's NFL.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he's going to get this one down to the 45. Give him 4 on the ground there. They're now left with 3rd and 6.
But really, that was no surprise there. They've been running it well all game. And I know goals change all the time, but any team will take that type of run each and every time.
And they'll need the 39 here for a first. This is 3rd down.
Leffert, set. Green, 39. Green, 39.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Looking left side, he's got it. Complete. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield. In my book, that's running the ball well, but with intelligence. How about him keeping the clock moving, staying in bounds?
Yeah, even though it's the 3rd quarter, you're thinking ahead, aren't you? This is where your running game can really help you with a lead in the second half.
I agree totally. It's not just end-of-the-half situations that you worry about the clock. It's throughout the game. And with a lead, stay in bounds. Make them fight harder to try and catch you.
And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
Well, Brandon, he's had a great day, and sometimes that just happens. It is the NFL. They will make some plays against you.
And they'll be in search of 6 yards here on 3rd down. This is now the 9th play of the drive. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. And he takes it down to the 13 and picks up the first. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there if he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback who has to slide and find open space to throw. That was a really nice play, able to stack that one up. When they get back in the huddle, he's got to tell his guys up front, great job. They kept people off of him, allowed him to run free and make the hit on the runner.
Filled the gap nicely, kept him to just a 1-yard gain. Give him 2 yards on that play, and that's going to bring up a 3rd down. And look at these numbers, Charles. It's one thing for a run-of-the-mill quarterback, a rookie quarterback for back-to-back games that don't go their way. For him, this is a little bit of an aberration, isn't it?
And normally when you see a guy of this stature have a really rough game the week before, you just expect him to explode the very next week. But back-to-back weeks, we've seen tough times from him. I can't wait to see him try and pull himself out of it, see what he does differently.
So now the Packers turn things over to the special teams crew. They're on for the field goal try.
3rd down is a down. Both sides know they absolutely have to win. And the name of the game for the defense is pressure on the quarterback.
Offense back out onto the field as they'll take over here in the final minute of this 3rd quarter. Looks like the defense in press coverage here.
4 down. Here we go. Green, 39.
They go play action here on 1st down. Going down the middle, and it's complete. So it's a quarter that saw these two teams trade field goals here as we've reached the end of 3 quarters of play. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now at Lambeau. It's Packer football here as they've got the lead as well to begin the 4th quarter.
Here we go now. Blue 90. Blue 90.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And good penetration here. He'll get this down only to about the 49-yard line. And in this situation with the lead 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Now he'll be wrapped up around the waist and pushed down. That winds up pushing him back 11 yards on the sack. And that'll bring up third.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations, because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. Quarterback was hit.
And it looks like a nickel set now for the Browns on third down.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
Back to throw here. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. 14 yards is the pickup there, but it'll still lead to a fourth down.
I wonder what was going through his mind when he got the play call. He just got sacked on the previous play. He knows they're coming after him again. A little bit of guts to stand in there, take the hit, and successfully complete the screen pass. Really well done.
So make some room next to Tom Dempsey on the NFL's all-time field goal distance leaderboard. That's going to go down officially as a 63-yarder.
Let's not forget about David Akers, Jason Elam.
So the football will be at the 25-yard line as this offense gets set to take over. And they'll go on the ground. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
That's a good play. By the guys on the defensive side of the ball, held him to a gain of 2, and that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
And the play clock's running down. Now a handoff here to his running back. Call it a gain of 5 that time, and they'll be left with a 3rd and about 4.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
Now they'll run it on the toss. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave them with a 4th down.
Well, he was stopped on that play, but he's had plenty of carries all afternoon. Every now and then the defense is going to win one, but I don't think they'll shy away from handing it to him the rest of the game.
And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback. And we drop you into the start of this next possession. The score, 7-0. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
Here we go now.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. Play clock winding down. They come up in an offset eye. And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
And that's a nice pickup of a first down on that second down run. And at that yardage gained, they can run that play on any down.
So they pick up the first down after the run, and now they approach for the fresh set. They'll need to get the play off quickly. And to give this time to the tailback. And the ball is knocked out.
Wow. That ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll get it down here to the 43. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains.
Well, I'd say that run's pretty emblematic of what we've seen all day long. No matter what they've done on offense, this offensive line has controlled the line of scrimmage, given them time to throw it, run it, do whatever they wanted. That's why there are points up on the board. And right now, the psyche of the offense, we're in control, and we can do whatever we feel like doing out here on the field.
Let's go. Green 39. Green 39.
And on the ground they go with the running back. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Yeah, let me puff out my chest a little bit, even though I'm not rooting for either team. That was a really nice defensive play. It's awfully fun to watch, even in an offensive game.
4 down, 4 down. Check. 4 down, 4 down. All right, here we go. 3-19.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he's able to get this one down to about the 40. 5 yards on the carry there, and it leaves him with third and about 6 yards to go.
But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball, because they were in a second and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to third and manageable with that run.
Defense sinking pass. They've got the nickel set out on 3rd and 6. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he is going to lose yardage here. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down.
Hey, a lot of points have been scored in this game, but what a nice play by the defense. Stepping up on that one. Maybe they'll get things going in their direction after a play like that.
Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Packers, they boost their record up to a strong 4-1. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Detroit Lions. Meanwhile, for the Browns, they'll fall to 1-4 with a loss. And they'll have a tough one at home next week against the Denver Broncos. That'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our hardworking crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.